Manjushri. Manjushri is one of the most ancient and significant bodhisattva in the Mahayana tradition of Buddhism. He goes by various names including Manjushri Kumar Avuta, Manju Gosa, and Vagisarva. Manjushri embodies wisdom that transcends concept and opinions, making him a symbol of profound insight. He is often venerated as the meditational deity in esoteric Buddhism and is known as Prajna in Sanskrit, signifying noble and gentle, and he who is noble and kind. Within Mahayana Buddhism, Manjushri is revered as the bodhisattva who possesses the highest level of knowledge and wisdom. In Chinese, he is referred to as Wenshu. In the Newa community, it is a tradition to worship Manjushri, known as Manjushri Panchami or Sri Panchami on the occasion of Vasanta Panchami. According to belief and legends, Manjushri was believed to be born at Utai Mountain, which is located in the northeastern part of Shaanxi province in China. The Avatam Saka Sutra provides scriptural evidence for this belief in the chapter titled Abodes of Bodhisattvas. The text mentioned the cool mountain where many bodhisattvas from the past have lived is a bodhisattva residence in the northeast. It is the center of the worship of Manjushri Bodhisattva. It is believed that Manjushri Bodhisattva is currently residing there with 10,000 other bodhisattvas who are his kin and to whom he frequently shares the dharma. This passage suggests that Manjushri is associated with Utai Mountain. According to folklore and traditional belief, Manjushri is often regarded as the creator of Nepal. According to the Swayambhu Puran, an ancient religious text in Nepal, the Kathmandu Valley was once a lake where great and powerful serpents resided. Vipassvi Buddha scattered a seed from which sacred lotus is said to have bloomed. This lotus flower had a remarkable appearance with a shape resembling a cartwheel and thousands of golden leaves. Panchashrestha Bodhisattva Manjushri from Maha-China became aware of the manifestation of Swayambhu, the form of God in Nepal. Accompanied by his two wives, Varada and Mokshada, as well as his disciples, Manjushri journeyed to Nepal. As he entered Nepal, he approached from the northeast hillside. During his arrival, he meditated for 3 nights at Mahadev Pokhari. Additionally, he seated his elder wife Varada at Pulchoki and his younger wife Mokshada at Champadevi. After arriving at Swayambhu, Manjushri turned the shrine to the right and circumambulated it. He then used a moon-shaped sword to cut the mountain where water was leaking and skillfully directed the water out. This sacred act is an integral part of the religious history and lore associated with Swayambhunath Stupa in Nepal. Manjushri continued his sacred actions, ensuring the waters washed away the serpents and demons residing in the pond. He approached the lotus at the pond's bottom, and there he heard the enchanting sound of and offered his reverence. It was at this point that the mysterious goddess Gueshwari manifested herself. Devotees to this day worship the mount that represents the divine feet of Gueshwari, located near Swayambhu. Manjushri went on to establish his Kharka-shaped Manjupatan on the land situated between the Bagmati and Bisnumati rivers. Having completed his divine mission, he appointed a religious Chinese individuals named Dharmakar, who had journeyed with him from China, as the king of the region. After these significant acts, Manjushri returned to his homeland. This narrative is deeply ingrained in the religious and historical heritage of the Swayambhunath Stupa area in Nepal. According to legend, the wrathful king of snakes, Karkotak, grew furious when the countless snakes living in the lake were left homeless due to the drainage of Kathmandu Lake. Manjushri, the Bodhisattva, is the central to this myth, as he is said to have encountered Karkotak, the king of snakes. Manjushri implored Karkotak to remain in the valley and protect the future inhabitants of the regions. He asked the Serpent King to safeguard the people who would eventually make their homes there. Additionally, Manjushri encouraged all the displaced snakes and mythical creatures from the lake to relocate to Taudaha, a smaller lake. This is how Taudaha, meaning big lake, Tau for big and Daha for lake in Newa language, came to be inhabited by these beings. As the valley began to attract human settlement, the people constructed an underwater palace adorned with gold and precious jewelry to honor and appease the Serpent King. This act was intended to acknowledge his protection of the valley and its inhabitants. The myth goes on to describe the transformation of the drained lake into a hill, while the lotus that once blossomed in the lake became the renowned Soyambunath Stupa. This tale is deeply rooted in the cultural and religious heritage of Kathmandu Valley, Nepal. According to another legend, Mahapandit Dharmasri Mitra, who was associated with Vikramshil Mahavihar, now in Bengal, was in pursuit of additional information related to the text in the book Nama Sangiti. He intended to travel to Mahachin via Nepal to meet a guru who could provide the knowledge he sought. However, when he reached Kathmandu, he unexpectedly encountered the guru he was looking for, working as a farmer in Miapi. As the story goes, this farmer was none other than Manjushri himself. Dharmasri Mitra initially failed to recognize Manjushri in his earthly form and subsequently insulted him. It is said that as a result of this insult, both of the Dharmasri Mitra's eyes fell out and landed on Manjushri's paduka or holy sandals. In the town of Dolka, Manjushri's paduka is reputed to have two eyes engraved on them, symbolizing this legend. As a result, there is a tradition in Kathmandu of crafting padukas with two eyes as a representation of Manjushri and the story of Dharmasri Mitra. Every year, on the auspicious day of Vasanta Panchami or Magh Shukla Panchami, a fair is conducted at various Manjushri sites in Nepal. These Manjushri places can be found behind Swayambhu in Kathmandu, Sudal and Dolka in Bhaktapur. The tradition of people from Dolka visiting Tilinchuk Hill or Sri Panchami is the testament to this practice. In the past, the Mandeswari temple at Dada was referred to as Manjushri Stan, highlighting the cultural significance of Manjushri's worship in the region. Manjushri is a figure who is subject to different interpretation. Some view him as a historic person, while others regard him as a supernatural being. According to ancient accounts, it is said that Kathmandu Valley was drained by him at Chovar. There are differing beliefs about Manjushri's background. Some suggest that Manjushri received Buddhist education as a scholar at Vikramshila Mahavihar, which is now in Bengal. Other believes that Manjushri, a renowned scholar known as Wensu Pasa, came to Nepal after traveling beyond the Himalayas. The precise nature of Manjushri's existence is a subject of spiritual and historical debate. The precise date when Manjushri was incorporated into the northern Buddhist pantheon remains uncertain. His name is initially found in the Arya Manjushri Mulakodpa, a text believed to be from a pre-Guya Samaj period. It subsequently appears in the Guya Samaja Tantra, a work thought to have been composed around the year 380. The historical timeline of Manjushri's incursion into Buddhist literature and practice suggests that his veneration has ancient roots in the tradition. Manjushri's name is mentioned in the Sukhavati Vriya, also known as Amitayu's Sutra, which was translated into Chinese between AD 384 and 417. He is also found in the minor recension 8 of this scripture. Manjushri is more frequently mentioned in the later Buddhist texts. Over time, various forms and aspects of Manjushris have been described and revered in Buddhist literature and practice. During the Tang period, 618 to 907 AD, images of Manjushri riding a lion became quite common. In this depiction, Manjushri was often shown alongside the Bodhisattva Samantavadra, and they would flank the central figure of the historical Buddha, Sakyamuni, forming a triad. This iconographic representation highlights Manjushri's association with wisdom and his role in Bodhisattva in Mahayana Buddhism. It is suggested that Manjushri was a remarkable figure who played a significant role in introducing elements of civilization from China to Nepal. He is often credited with exceptional architectural and engineering abilities, which may have been instrumental in shaping the region. However, it's essential to remember that these attributes are part of the legendary narratives and folklore surrounding Manjushri, and their historical accuracy may be difficult to establish. Manjushri is primarily revered as a symbol of wisdom and enlightenment in Buddhism, and his legendary activities are often used to convey important spiritual and moral teachings. Thank you.